Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Prophet Nuh was the third prophet, precisely the human who was appointed a prophet after Prophet Idris. Noah was also one of the grandchildren of the Prophet Idris. Noah was born with the name Nuh bin Lamech bin Metazialak bin Kanak or Idris bin Yeretz bin Malael bin Kinan bin Anasi bin Sayetz bin Adam. According to the explanation of Ibn Jarir and others, Noah was born 116 years after Adam died. Based on the history of the book experts above, Noah was born 146 years after Adam died, because between the two they were 10 generations apart, as said by Abu Amma, namely one of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. Someone asked the Messenger of Allah, "O Rasulullah, is Adam a prophet?" Yes, he was given a revelation," he answered. "What is the time gap between him and Noah?" asked the person. 10 generations, he answered. In the Bukhari hadith it is also stated that Ibn Abbas said, there are 10 generations between Adam and Noah. They all embraced Islam. Noah was only sent by Allah when humans fell into error and disbelief, when they made idols as worship. Noah came as a blessing for all servants. He was the first messenger sent on earth. The story of the prophet Noah is also immortalized in the Quran. Allah mentions the story of Noah and his people, the story of the punishment and great flood that was sent down by Allah because they disbelieved in Allah. Allah said, "Indeed, we truly sent Noah to his people. Then he said, O my people, worship Allah. There is no God for you but Him, Allah. Indeed, I am afraid that punishment will befall you on the great day doomsday. The leaders of their people will say, Indeed, we see that you are truly in clear error." Noah answered, "O my people, I am not astray, but I am a messenger from the Lord of all the worlds. I convey to you the message of my Lord, give you advice, and I know from Allah what you do not know. And are you surprised that there is a warning that comes from your Rabb through a man from among yourselves, to warn you and so that you become pious, so that you get grace?" So they denied him Noah. Then we saved him and the people with him on the ship. We drown those who deny our verses. Indeed, they are a people who are blind the eyes of their hearts. Surah Al-A'raf verses 59-64. After a generation of pious people passed, several things happened that ultimately triggered the people at that time to worship idols. Ibn Abbas said that the idols that existed among Noah's people then appeared among the Arabs. In the book of Tafsir, Ibn Jarir states, Muhammad bin Qais stated, they namely Wad, Su'a, Yaghuts, Yak and Nasr were pious people who existed between the generations of Adam and Noah. They had many followers who became role models. After these pious people died, their followers who became role models said, if we make statues of them, it will certainly make us want to worship more when we remember them. They finally made statues of these pious people. After these followers died and another generation appeared, the devil came to them and said, they worshiped those pious people, and through the intermediary of those pious people, they asked for rain. Finally, the statues of the pious people were worshipped. Ibn Abi Hatim narrated that he said, Wad, Su'a, Yaghuts, Yak, and Nasr were the children of Adam. Wad was the oldest among them and the most devoted to him. Ibn Abi Hatim also told us people mentioned Yazid bin Muhalab near Abu Jafar al-Bakir who was praying. After the prayer, Abu Jafar said, you are mentioning Yazid bin Muhalab. Indeed, he was killed on earth, where at that time there were people who worshipped other than Allah. Abu Jafar then said about Wad, he was a pious man, he was very popular with his people. When he died, his people remained silent around his grave in a region of Babylon in sadness. When he saw their sadness, the devil changed into a human form and said to them, I see you are very sad about being left by that person. Would you like me to make a statue like that person in your gathering place, so that you will always remember him? Of course, they said. The devil then made a statue like Wad's form for them. Then they put the statue in the gathering place. They always remember it. When they saw him, they always remembered and mentioned Wad. Satan offered, would you like me to make a statue like him in the house of each of you, so that you can remember him at home? Of course, they answered. The devil then made statues like him in every house. They also continued to remember and mention it. Their children saw what they did to the statue. After their children multiplied and the purpose of remembering Wad as the first people did disappeared, the statue of Wad was finally made into a god by their grandchildren, whom they then worshipped besides Allah. The statue they called Wad was the first creature to be worshipped besides Allah. The series of stories above shows that each of these idols was worshipped by a group of people. It is said that over time, they made the statues three-dimensional to make them more convincing, after which the statues were worshipped other than Allah Azza wa Jalla. It is mentioned in the book of Shahain from Rasulullah when Salama and Habiba mentioned the church they saw in Habasaya called Maria near the Prophet. Both of them mentioned the beauty and statues there. The Prophet said, when a pious person dies, they build a mosque over his grave, then they make a statue. They are the worst creatures in the sight of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Time continued to pass while the debate between Noah and his people never stopped, as Allah said, so he lived among them 1,000 years or less 50 years. They were hit by a great flood, and they were an unjust people. Surah Al-Ankabut, verse 14. Even though Noah preached during that time, only a handful of people believed in him. Every time a generation passes, they tell the next generation not to believe in Noah, to fight and oppose him. When the children started to reach maturity and understood their parents' words, they agreed not to believe in Noah for the rest of their lives. Mistakes in the form of denial, abominations, and evil prayers of the prophet Noah piled up on them. At that time, God ordered Noah to build a big ship that had never existed before, nor would there be a ship that big after him. Previously, Allah conveyed to Noah, when his judgment arrived, when his punishment which could not be resisted by a people who sinned would come. Noah could no longer correct and withdraw the prayer he offered to Allah, because perhaps Noah felt sorry when he saw the torment coming to his people, because hearing it was certainly not the same as witnessing it directly. For this reason, Allah said, "And do not speak to me about the unjust people. Indeed, they will be drowned." And Noah began to build a ship. Every time the leader of his people passed by, they mocked him, mocked Noah, and considered the threat he had conveyed to them impossible to come true. Noah said, "If you mock us, then we too will mock you as you mock us. That is, we are the ones who will mock you and be surprised at you, because you continue to deny and oppose arbitrarily, which will make you tormented. Then in the future you will know who will be hit by a humiliating punishment and who will be hit by an eternal punishment." Thanks for watching.